Welcome to another edition of Practice with Pete, the safe space to practice functional English. Now, the reason it's called Practice with Pete is because I would like you to practice your English, and the way to do it would be to write a comment using the grammar that we've used in the lesson. So I hope you enjoy today's lesson, and don't forget to practice in the comments. When you're learning a language, it's very important to engage with the language, and the act of writing your own sentences using structures is a great way to practice, but it's also a great way to help your memory, because you're actually going to remember the structures later on. So it's an important part of learning. So in today's video, we're going to learn how to make polite suggestions. Why is it important to make polite suggestions? Well, I suppose if you're rude or impolite or too direct, then people are just going to ignore what you say. So today we're going to look at 4 ways to suggest politely, and none of them will use the word suggest. Expression number 1, I would love to, or I'd love to. Here, you're not suggesting directly, but rather you're expressing your own desire or what you want. And this is a very effective strategy. So imagine you're with another person or with a group of friends, and you have to decide what to have for dinner, and you want to have Italian. So what would you say? I'd love to have Italian. I'd love to have Italian. Notice how we stress and extend the word love. I'd love to have Italian. Expression number 2, it would be nice. It would be nice. It would be nice if we could have Italian. What type of sentence is this? Yes, it's a conditional sentence. It's what you might have heard of as a second conditional. And we use this usually for unreal or imaginary or improbable situations. But in this case, it's possible to have an Italian. So why are we using the second conditional? And the answer is to sound more polite. It would be nice if we could have Italian. We can also use the to infinitive with this structure, and it makes it simpler. It would be nice to have Italian. It would be nice to have Italian. Nice. Expression 3, why don't we? Why don't we? Why don't we have Italian? To me, this sounds very spontaneous and friendly, and you can actually make it even more spontaneous and effective if you add the words I know just before the expression. I know. Why don't we have Italian? This actually sounds like you've just thought of a brilliant idea. I know. Why don't we have Italian? Expression 4, the best thing. The best thing. The best thing would be to have Italian. This clearly states your preference as the best option, so hopefully the other person will agree. I think the best thing would be to have Italian. What about words like suggest, recommend, and advise? These can also be used for making suggestions, but they do sound a little bit formal. I suggest we have Italian. I recommend you make a pizza. I advise you to make spaghetti. It sounds a bit too formal. You might hear these used by a waiter or a doctor or even your teacher when giving advice, but they are less used, and they're also difficult to use correctly. So let's review the 4 ways we've learned to make polite suggestions. Number 1, I'd love to. I'd love to read your comments. Number 2, it would be nice. It would be nice if you gave this video a like. Number 3, why don't you? Why don't you subscribe to my channel? And 4, the best thing. The best thing would be to practice using these structures by writing a comment in the comments below. So now it's practice time. So I'd like you to suggest this. What would you like to see in future videos. If you make more than one suggestion, try to use a different structure in each one. That's all from me. Keep practicing and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.